After PSG showed what they were made of against German giants Bayern Munich beyond the games, Lance Santos sat down with French football expert Firas EL Echi to talk about the club's present, future and what a true team would do.
Firas, project PSG, it seems to be working. Five-time European champions put to bed at their home ground. All is well?
Well, I wouldn't call them the 5 times winner of the Champions League, because yesterday that was a wounded lion. That wasn't the Bayern we knew. And I was very surprised at how they started the game and how they entered and the plan. And I think everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Ancelotti's planning was, I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand why James was a winger, why Muller was playing as a winger.
Mbappe was fantastic last night. Cavani, Neymar, the speed in which they counter. Do you think that's going to get them far in this competition? That's certainly what the French press are saying today, isn't it?
To win the Champions League, to go far, to become one of Europe's greatest, you need a whole team. You don't need 3 players. It's not enough to have, you know, Mbappe, Neymar, and Cavani. You need a great defensive line. You need a great midfield. Yesterday, the midfield was completely absent. Like I said, you need a whole team to play against Real Madrid, to play against Chelsea, to play against Atletico Madrid. Like, if you play against Simeone, for example, Neymar, Cavani, Mbappe, they wouldn't even get the ball. It wouldn't get to them. And when we talk about these games, we also talk about the pressure of the advanced parts when you play the quarterfinal and the semifinal, and strong crowds like Atletico Madrid's or like Real Madrid's, and you go to, you know, the Bernabeu and you go to Stamford Bridge. That's intimidating. That's scary. How are you going to cope with that? I'm very curious about that.
Let's stay with the stadiums now. You talked about going to Stamford Bridge. It is not a nice place to play, especially when it gets those high-pressured rounds. The Parc de France. Tell me about it. I mean, I'll give you my opinion of it being there. It does seem somewhat plastic, a little manufactured, if you like. I mean, is that going to be a factor for them as well? They can buy the best players in the world, but you can't buy chemistry, can you?
Well, that's a very interesting point, because that's one of the things you can't buy: history. But here, you need to start worrying about creating history before thinking about conquering Europe. It's like you have a strong engine on your car, but you don't have tires. So you need to think about that before, you know, you say, we're going to win the Champions League this season.
But where does it end? What is the target? Is it solely to win the Champions League? If they don't win the Champions League, do they going to spend more money?
I don't know, because right now, like I said before, they're, you know, on UEFA radar. They're being monitored closely, and the question is,
do they care about that? I mean, some people wonder if they even care, because the rules were there and they've just
but they should. But they should. So UEFA will look at the books next year. So they have a little window to make up the money they spent, and if they don't, UEFA is absolutely going to make an example out of PSG. But I don't like it. You know, I will take my own perspective into this. No one likes it. Football is inspirational. Football is about tradition. Football is Leicester City. You know, you do it with passion. You do it with love. You know, football is not money. And I hate how they're approaching this. And you know what? It could happen. So what? You win the Champions League. So what? It's not an inspirational run. You did it with money. Remember Leicester. Remember Liverpool, Milan. Remember all these amazing games that lasted in the history and in the memory. I remember Liverpool, Milan minute by minute, because it's such a historical game. You know, Leicester's run in the Premier League will last with me forever. If PSG wins the Champions League, next year we'll be like, okay.
They bought it.
You know, they bought it. That's it.